In this video, I will be discussing degrees of freedom. So, degrees of freedom of a dynamical system is defined as the total number of independent quantities required in order to describe the position or motion of the system completely. Okay, so let us take one example. Monoatomic molecule. Suppose that if monoatomic molecule, like what kind of gas, like helium, neon, like that, organ, such type of gases. So now clearly you can observe, suppose this is the atom, monoatomic atom, correct? So now we have three directions. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. So this molecule can move like this, or it can move like this, or it can move like this. So obviously degree of freedom we can write in short df or f. F will be given by 3 because 3 independent directions are possible, right? Now talking about diatomic molecule. Diatomic molecule. So for diatomic molecule like H2, N2, O2, such type of gases. So suppose if diatomic molecule is there, let's say like this, so they will have the covalent bond, correct? So let us define the axes. So we can still define three axes, y, x and z. Z axis is out of the plane, correct? Now clearly if you observe this two molecules, so this molecule can move like this, can move like this, and also it can be moved in z axis. So we can have three independent direction for translational motion. For translational motion we have F1 3, or let's say F translational, Ft is equal to 3. Now there is a possibility of rotation also in this. What kind of possibility? Clearly if you observe, if you take y-axis, then this molecule, let's say if it is having m and m mass, clearly you can observe this can provide you some moment of inertia about y-axis, correct? Of course if you take the perpendicular axis from passing from this point, that means Iz is also possible. But if you take Ix, of course Ix will be 0 because this line is passing from this point only, so there is no perpendicular distance. So Ix is 0. That means two rotational degrees of freedom are possible. Rotational degrees of freedom. Let's say F rotational, here which are possible 2. So now we can write total degrees of freedom for a diatomic gas will be is equal to total degree of freedom for diatomic gas. That means which will be F diatomic will be F translational plus F rotational. This is 3 plus 2, which is 5. This is the F diatomic. Okay, so you remember F diatomic should be 5. And then we also can define for triatomic gases. Let us remove this. Triatomic gases. So we wanted to see degrees of freedom. So these type of gases like CO2, like O3, such type of gases. Okay, so these gases will be likely will be having 3 atoms like this. So if you take any axis, let's say if you define any axis like this, x, y and z, still this overall combination can move in 3 different directions, like this and like this. So F translational will be 3, and if you take this is the center probably, then you will be finding all moment of inertia. Ix is also there, Iy is also there, Iz is also there. That means F rotational will also be 3. So total degree of freedom F triatomic is F translational plus F rotational, 3 plus 3, which is 6. Okay, so F monoatomic is 3, F diatomic is 5, and F triatomic is 6. This thing is very, very important. You need to remember. That was the concept of degree of freedom. It will be pretty helpful in calculation of molar heat capacities and the value of gamma, which is adiabatic exponent. We will be discussing in thermodynamics. Okay, so by heart it. That's it.